Hey everybody, welcome to part 2 of our series on how to sell on Amazon in 2022. Today's topic is the title. We're going to look for how does a real good title look like? What can the title do for you? And how does it need to look like? What do I need to put in my title to actually make it convert? And what part of the title is good for the customer and which one is good for the algorithm? So here you will see two different titles. Both of them look very differently. Now you can pause the video and check out, think about it. Which one of these titles do you think is the better title? Okay, if you've decided it was A or B, you would be right and you would also be wrong. Both of these titles are very good titles. They both have a different job though. Title A is for someone who isn't really good at doing keywords like in our first video, or maybe he doesn't know the language. So he just focuses on a couple of keywords and lets Amazon's auto campaign look for more for them. For that, it's absolutely a really good title. But let's say you know your customer, you already know your product in and out, and you know the language perfectly, then title number 2 is the title you should be aiming for. So now we're going to go over how do I set up a title. The first thing you need to do is register your brand. You cannot have a title without a brand in it. If your product is not branded, you don't have a brand registry, you're vulnerable to attacks from other sellers that can hijack your listing. So the first thing you want to do before you even think about selling on Amazon, make a brand. If it's your store brand or if you have a target niche that you want to brand in, if you want to sell products in a specific brand, that's what you got to target. So your title needs to have a brand and you need to prepare for that. The second thing is your product has to have a name. No one sells a car with the name car. The car has a name. No one sells a phone with the name phone. The phone has a name. So make sure that you name your product. If it's Hilda or whatever, just give your product a name. That will really help you out in PPC in the long term. And let's say a customer is browsing products and they maybe like your product, but they click another one. And they click another one. And then they remember, no, I want the first one, but they don't remember, they can't go back or whatever. They remember the name. They will literally just put in the product name plus your actual name of the product and they will find you immediately. And you pay like 2 cents to get that click instead of paying $1 per click or something like this. So we have the brand, we have a name. The next thing, which is really important, what a lot of people don't do, is an adjective. Put an adjective. If your product is like a lamp, right? Beautiful lamp, modern lamp, some beautiful word that describes the product. The next thing that comes is of course your product. What is your product? That's probably the biggest keyword. If you're selling a camera, camera is your biggest keyword. If you're selling a lamp, lamp is your biggest keyword. So make sure that the biggest keyword is always right at the beginning of your whole title. So what is the most important thing that also needs to be in title is your biggest feature. Like if you sell a faucet, hot and cold is not really the biggest feature. Every faucet has hot and cold water. If your faucet only has cold water or only has hot water, that's very different, right? Because that's not normal. That's the case when you mention it. So this kind of feature is completely worthless and shouldn't be in your title. Like, hey, I'm selling a car and the car has 4 wheels. No one cares. That's not going to help you. That's not a benefit. That's not a big feature. But let's say your car can fly. Then, hey, we better mention that. That's a really big feature that makes our product stand out. So when you sell your product, find out what is the biggest feature. Not just the biggest feature of the product, also the biggest feature customers are looking for. You can go back to our first video where we do keyword research and there you will find how to find the most trafficked keywords and see, oh, there's one feature in there. That's probably going to be the one that I should have in my title because that's going to help me down the line. Hey, it's me from the future. Sorry to interrupt the video, but I've noticed that most of you guys are not subscribed and that really doesn't help me with the algorithm. So if you like the content or you have any questions, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe and hit the notification bell and ask in the comment section below. Now back to the video. Furthermore, if you have a product that needs a specific location, we go back to the example of a faucet. A faucet can be for the bathroom, can be for the garden, it can be for the kitchen. That's 3 different locations. So faucet by itself, that could be anything. The customer could be looking for anything. The keyword faucet by itself is not going to help you in the title. It needs to be connected to the location. If you're selling a kitchen faucet, then kitchen needs to be in your title. It's very important to do so. So that's the location. So whenever you sell a product that is specific to a location, don't forget that. Put it in your title. The next thing is user groups. Who uses the product? That's again, you need to know your customer. First of all, the customer, and second of all, who uses it. So Who uses the pet product? What kind of pet? Is the product for kids? Is the product only for adults? Like, think about what is your product for? Whom is it for? Who's going to use it? There's very, very often you can just use one of those locations plus a user group and you have a really long tail keyword that's very specific, has a lot less PPC cost and is very, very high converting. Because if someone looks for exactly those things, Amazon will rank you really high on them and people are going to buy it for that. And that's going to benefit you because you can index 3 or 4 keywords at the same time. Now we can go into even more specifics. So depending on your category and what kind of product you're selling, there are things that are important. Not for every product. Like for some products, the color is very important. Or the material it's made out of is very important for some people on some products in some categories. Furthermore, we have like product specific data. Like if you sell a light, you probably want to write the wattage of the light and what the light colors are. Or if this product can do other RGB colors, for instance. This is very important information that the customer might be looking for. This is very specific information, but you need to know your product at this point and say, okay, hey, wait, this is very specific to my product. I have to put this into my title. This is very, very important. People might be looking for that. Again, this goes back to our first video where the keyword research comes in really, really handy. There's one last thing that a lot of people don't do. And if you want to be successful on Amazon, this is what you have to do and put in your title to be successful. When you develop a product, develop the product with a benefit that the competition might not have, or almost none of your competition has. So you can put that benefit in your title, and that will really help your conversion rate. Let's say you're selling a ceiling light that has a remote control. Like many people are doing that. But what could you do? You could include a wall bracket or a wall fixing for that remote, so you can put that remote to the wall. Probably cost you like 50 cents or less to get your manufacturer to do that for you. That increases your product's value. You can sell it for $5 more. It will convert much, much more than the competitors because you have a benefit that the others don't have. And you're telling your customers about it already in your title. We're not even at the bullet points and the customer already sees something that they don't see on your competitor's listing. And this is where it's really, really important to put your benefits, if you have one, in the title. So here you can now see really easy template that I made for you guys. So if you make your first product, you just look at this template and ask yourself these questions. Who is it for? Where do I use it? What is the product's name? And do I have an adjective that can describe that product? And what is my benefit? Is there a measurement or some unique identification thing that I need to put into the title that's important in that category? And you just answer those questions and you already have your title. You put your brand, your name, your adjective, your big benefit plus keyword, your user group, your location, your unique identifications, and your benefit. And voila, you got a perfect title for Amazon and a perfect title for your PPC. So this is basically the easy part. Answering all those questions and doing the proper research, that's the real work. And that's what you have to do. That is what my job is when I want to sell a new product. I sit down and I ask myself all those questions when I have a product in front of me that I want to sell. And I generate these amazing titles after I did my keyword research. So please go and check the first video if you haven't already. That's it for today. See you next time when we go over bullet points.